Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I had extra hellos today. You know why? Because I'm just coming back from a vacation. So, you have this extra hello, 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 because you're well rested and it's just, you can breathe. So I wanted to come, today with this live to just have a gentle reminder, because you know what? You'll be amazed at how many people don't prioritize taking a vacation. Well, let me tell you, we need vacations. We need breaks. Well, I wasn't one that was consistent, that took vacations, planned them all the time. My vacations, if I may say, prior to COVID 19, were always tied to my speaking engagements. So when I get hired to speak at a conference or to do a workshop for a company or at a company retreat, and I'm the guest speaker or keynote speaker, I made that a vacation. So what I used to do is to make sure that, you know what, if I get hired and I'm in Canada, then I'm extending the days whilst I'm in Canada. If I'm in the UK, I'm extending those days in the UK and make that my vacation at the same time. So that's how I planned it. But this time around after COVID, I said, no, the work ones will be work. I'll go to work. I'll take a couple of days off and, extra. But I need to really plan vacations, which are just me time, that I just go away and just relax and not think about work at all. I mean, I did a live, last week, but even when I took my other vacation, I did a live once I was there, but that's nothing. Lives are just like nothing, right? So I'm back from my vacation and it was so good. So this year I decided to do something different. I had prior to this year, I had only been to one cruise. I've only been on one cruise, the Disney cruise to Aruba, to the Bahamas, and I did that years ago. So I decided this year, I said, you know what? I'm going to take two cruises this 2023. And I did it early in the year because I didn't want to come up with any excuses, of not doing that. So the first one, I did it for my birthday, which was March 9th. I went on a 9-day cruise and I was on the Celebrity Equinox. We did a 9-day cruise. We started off from Fort Lauderdale, and then we went to the Grand Cayman Islands, Aruba, Curacao. I think that's how they pronounce it. And then we went to Bonaire and we were back to Fort Lauderdale. What a beautiful cruise. So that one, I went on there as well because I was also attending one of my favorite people's conferences, Abraham Hicks. We did a 4-day on Abraham Hicks, attending Abraham Hicks conferences, right there on the cruise, and it was beautiful. So guess what? The reason why I did that is one of my dreams and visions is to be able to do women empowerment retreats on a cruise and take women away on a 7-day cruise or do a 3-day cruise, and all we do is just attend a seminar, conference, a speaker, 2-3 hours, and then have fun and do fun stuff away from there. The other reason why I also wanted cruises was I also want to do couples cruises, because with couples, so I've worked with couples and I work with women as well in my 25-year, as a mental health professional providing counseling services. And what I noticed with couples, especially, was that everything that life was happening was about the bills, the bills, the bills, especially here in America, paying the bills, working, children, and after the children, the grandchildren come, and I'm like, wait a minute, when are you going to really reconnect the two of you and really have a moment where it's me time, us time, and just be the two of you again? Many have not had that opportunity in years and years and years, and it's always been on my heart that I need to do such getaways where we can take away the parents and maybe take them away just for 3 days, because then for some parents, you know what, we can't do the 7 day or the 9 day one. That'll be too much for them. So that's the reason why I wanted to explore cruises this year. So I did that one on my birthday, and then this last one that I just did, a week ago, was for 7 days. And we started off in Cape Canaveral, right here in Florida, where I live. And then we went to Puerto Rico, and then we went to the Dominican Republic. We stopped at Grand Turks, and then came back to Cape Canaveral. Woo! Can you tell I'm refreshed? It is so refreshing to be able to just be away from everything. So here's what I found out. On both cruises, you wake up and you don't care whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because you don't have any appointments. There's no alarm that is going on reminding you that, okay, 2 minutes, you got to be sitting by Zoom, to speak to a client, or you have to pick up the phone so that you can make the phone call with a client to speak to a client. There was nothing like that. So I didn't have to check my calendar. I didn't want any alarms. No alarms went on. And I didn't know what day it was. So here's the thing too. I didn't even know what time it was, right? I would look out, because I always get, for both cruises, I got ones that have the balcony because I want to see the water. I don't want to be inside. I want to see the water. So I'd sit on my balcony when I wake up, and I have my coffee or tea, or I go up to the restaurants and sit down with, meeting other people and just saying hello and just interacting, but eating there. And the good thing about that is I didn't care whether it was morning, afternoon, or night, because then I can have breakfast 24/7. I can have lunch 24/7, and I can have dinner 24/7, because the restaurants are open 24/7. So you can have all the different menus and different meals. And all I could think of was, I wish and hope that everybody gets to have a moment where they can experience such peacefulness and such a moment of just getting away and being in a space where nothing else matters except your relaxation, except that you just have to be in this state of mindset that I'm here to relax. What was also so good is watching the couples, that are on those cruises, on both cruises. And I was asking questions. How long have you been married? How long have you been cruising? And it was just like in unison. Many of them have been cruising for years. And one couple just like said, we've been married for 22 years. And every anniversary, we come and we do a cruise, and we go on different islands and we go on different cruises. But then we also, fly into different countries on our anniversary, and just, commemorate our anniversary in different places, and just see different places and explore different, things, together. And I thought, wow. So of course I say, isn't that like a very expensive, celebration for 22 years? And they said, no. Because when you do something that you love, you are able to budget for it. You are able to put some time and money aside for it, and things just work out perfectly, that you're able to do it over and over again. So I had my book and I'm writing it down. I said, okay, this will be one of those things that I will do when I get married. It's not if, but when I get married, we will take some time to cruise, because it was beautiful. It was just so beautiful to just, see these couples just in awe, holding hands, and just the two of them with no phones and no schedules and no work. So it was really good. What amazes me is, in my work, I'm usually asking people, tell me about your downtime. What do you do in your downtime? How do you relax? What do you do to relax? That's what I get. Somebody will go, and I go, okay, what does that mean? Well, to be honest, I wait, I mean, the holidays, I'll take the holidays because the office is closed, like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, I'll take those. But to really like get away on vacation or really take some time, it's been a while, Doc. Oh, I've never, you know, been able to do it, Doc. Money, time, family obligations. There's just many reasons why I haven't been able to do it. And because I was one of those people that would come up with such an answer, right? And just make sure that, you know what? I mean, it was as if you wouldn't understand because then I don't have what it takes for me to take a vacation. And realize that vacations are actually the fuel that we need in order for us to continue to function. Vacations are the mechanic, fixations or fixes that we need. You know, many of us continue to just go, 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 go without taking a break. So I started off by gently reminding people to say, okay, it doesn't have to be the big cruise, doesn't have to be the big flights into away. Mini vacations also matter. But I'll tell you, the big vacations where you fly somewhere are more exciting. And flights, sometimes and I've noticed that now when I want to fly, all of a sudden I have all these miles, or I have, and a ticket that was going to be $600 end up costing me $29, and I'm like, what? Because they have all these points and they have, all these discounts that they apply, and at the end I'm clearly cringing, and I'm going, oh, I'm gonna be paid $600, and it's like $39. So I was like, oh, so there's an advantage of me traveling, flying, and doing all these things because I'm gaining all these miles that I can use now. So there's so many benefits that you can look into, as far as saving money and having savings. But right now, we are actually in a critical time that mentally, we do need to make sure that we get breaks, mini breaks. And mini breaks meaning if you're one person that is working and your job takes 12, 13 hours, that you're literally logged on for 13 hours, answering calls, projects, doing something, and you find yourself 13 after hours, day after day after day, then for you, a mini vacation means, you know what, if you can log off at 7 hours, 6 hours, and you just work 6 hours instead of 11 hours that day, that is a mini vacation. And you put it in place where every week you find a way to make it happen for you to take that mini vacation, where it is, time that you log off early or you log in early so that you can, come out earlier. Take those mini vacations, because mentally people are overwhelmed. Mentally it's clogged. People are clogged. So how do you know when you need a vacation? You always will know that, okay, I do need a vacation. You can't sleep. You're sometimes feeling just like overwhelmed before you even log onto your computer. You feel so overwhelmed. You get easily irritable with family members, with co-workers, with bosses, or maybe you are the boss, your colleagues, your team is just like everybody's not getting it, and all of a sudden you're almost like a firecracker that people are like scared to approach you because you're so overwhelmed. And many people feel it, but then they keep saying, you know what, I'll do it another time. Another form of vacation that you can take is, believe it or not, just having to take the time to talk to people like myself that are, professionals that can provide that professional support. I mean, just to take that time to just talk with one of us, a coach, a counselor, is really huge. It's a mini vacation as well, because at that time, it's almost like I have this notion of making analogies with cars, right? So it's almost like you've stopped at a garage and said, you know what, I need you to just check the oil for me, or I need you to, put some gas, because then now I know I'm low on gas. So that's what we are. We're like that pit stop where you stop and then we talk to you, just check in and check up with everything that is going on with you, come up with some coping skills, solutions that you might, consider taking in and exploring. But it's very important that we take vacations where we shut down everything and do get away. I love it too when I prepared. I'm telling you, for these two cruises that I did this year, I bought them last year. So from last year, I was counting down the days to my birthday, March 9th, where I went on this 9-day cruise. And then from then, I was counting down to this, 7-day cruise that I just did on the, Carnival. And it was just so interesting that you get to log in at work and you're talking to people, but then you're so excited that, okay, I get to sleep and it's 6 more days or it's 5 more days. It's just exciting. 1 more month that I'm going to be going away. It's in itself just the preparation, and you having been made that booking is really relieving to the mind. It's relieving to the body. So never underestimate even just the planning in itself of just doing that getaway. I've also encouraged people and seen it myself where it works, where I will plan a weekend with my sisters or with my girlfriends, and we meet at one of our homes and just have a whole day where we're eating, talking, and just relaxing and just laughing. Or we'll make it in a weekend thing where we do sleepovers, and it's just time to relax in there. Whatever it takes, make time for a vacation, because it is refueling, and to your body, mind, soul, and spirit as well. I love visiting my mother. I live in Orlando, Florida. Mom and sisters and one of my brothers, they live in Boston, Massachusetts, which I still call home, because then many of them are in Massachusetts, which I call home. So Boston, I go at least 3, 4 times a year, maybe 5 times a year, because it's 3-hour flight. I leave my home at 6 o'clock in the morning. By the time my mother wakes up, I'm knocking on her door. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. And say, good morning, hello. I don't surprise her anymore. I used to, just get a ticket and surprise her and just knock on the door, and they just like, you're here. But now, I mean, she's more vulnerable. We won't say she's aging, but she's a little bit more vulnerable. So that's not good. I don't do that anymore, where I surprise her. I'll tell her, Mommy, I'm coming. And then I get my ticket and go and visit her. And that, is refreshing and replenishing for me, because I love doing that, with her. Sometimes to do things that also make you excited and relaxed. For me, going to conferences and seminars or doing trainings, that's something that I get to interact with people. I get to talk to people. I get to ask questions. As we said last week, that questions really help you to dig deeper, and they really bring out, things that you never knew about yourself, a strength that is within you that you didn't know. So I love doing, workshops and interactions, or even, master classes where I have groups and we are working towards, self-improvement or self-development. That to me is a mini vacation as well, when I'm doing things like that, because it's not work. It's something, in addition to real deeper work that I do. But I love doing that. So look into what is it that you love doing. I love volunteering in programs where they have teenagers, because I worked with teenagers and parents for years and years and years. So I love going into programs and offering to do a speech here and there. to do a group, where we can just do a process group where I work with the teenagers, and sometimes I'll have teenagers and parents together and just do one conference as a volunteer work, for those programs. And, that to me is just refreshing and replenishing, thing that I do. So again, many ways of resting and relaxing that you can do. As I'm saying all of these things, what is that thing that you're thinking of right now and you're thinking, that's right, I haven't done such and such in a long time, but that's something that relaxes me? If I was asking my mother this question, you know what she would say? She loves gardening. So she's one of those people that will, her hands, and she's got a green thumb. I haven't tested mine yet, whether I have a green thumb or a purple thumb. I don't know. But she's got a green thumb, and it's, but watching her and helping her in her gardening, the few times that I did that, I really see why it is something that is relaxing, that you also can include it in mini vacation time where you're just taking time out to be in the garden. Flowers, tomatoes. She grew tomatoes. She grows collard greens, and she still does. In her late 70s. Do all those things. But I see why, and all of a sudden, the other day I just surprised myself, and I said, I think I would consider living on a farm, on big land, but I would have to have a whole lot of people, machinery, and everything to help do the plowing, because I love to see the green. I love to, harvest just a piece. But it's something that I really would love to do, because now I've seen my mother and I can see how relaxing and replenishing that it is, that it'll be a good thing to have that. And my mom always talked about, she always loved to stay in the country. We brought her in the United States. She's here with us. But she would say, you know what, if it was up to me and, all my children were not here, I would love to have been on a farm. I see why. Because you're always on vacation when you're living on a farm. You're always on a vacation. So it'll be one of the multiple homes that I'll own around the world, to have, farms in the different, countries or places that I'll be living in and vacationing in. Because it just came to me the other day that, it would be nice to have that. So again, what can you do to replenish yourself? There's a reason why companies, organizations made sure that in your package, you have vacation days and vacation times. So I'm always intrigued with people that say, well, I'm saving my time when I really, really need the vacation, when I really need the time. Because what's going to happen is, it's either you take some time in order for you to, continue to man your mental, emotional, physical health, so that you can continue to be strong and to be in good health, mentally, physically, emotionally. That way you are in good health, right? Or you can continue pushing yourself and pushing yourself and pushing yourself. And then you use those days that you have not used, plus you need more and even more money than the money that you were saying, it's too expensive and I'm trying to save this. So I think, again, it's a matter of perspective in thinking about how you use your vacation time and how you use that time. But organizations do that for a reason. Let me tell you. They put in place where you have vacation time so that you can take care of yourself. They also put in place what we call employee assistance programs, EAP. If you've never heard about it, if you've never used it, it's there for a reason. And EAP is a benefit that you are able to talk to a mental health professional, under the EAP program for your organization. You can talk to a therapist, or a coach for 3 sessions and more. Many organizations have the minimum of 3 sessions, but then I've seen companies that have even 20 sessions that they've put in their package for the employees. Can you imagine 20 free sessions where you can talk to a therapist? So the reason they did that is you have benefits for your physical health, which is your medical, and then you have benefits for your mental health, which is the EAP. So for you to come to work and not perform at par and not be fully present and fully, uh, productive at work is almost like zero tolerance for that. I've heard people saying, my job, they don't care, because then you know what? You get sick and then they're all over you because you've gotten sick and you've done this. Well, if you maintain taking vacations, taking breaks, and using those counseling and coaching sessions, and using your medical and taking your medical, sometimes, and I'm not saying always, sometimes that helps to keep you in good health. And they did that knowing that, you know what, if we do that to take care of you mentally and physically, we can get the best version of you showing up at work and doing, what you're supposed to do without any, ailments that you might be going through. So that's the reason for that. So another thing, as we are talking about vacations, is use the EAP benefits. What you do is you go to or call your human resources and ask them, hey, what is our EAP number? It's not, do we have EAP? Because 99.9% of companies have an EAP program in place. So what is our EAP number? And they will give you the EAP number, which is usually an 800 number in whatever country you're in. It's a toll-free number that you can call. And when you call, you say to them, one problem at a time. You don't say, I have this problem and that problem. No. The EAP works for one problem at a time. So if you're going through stress at home, that's one problem that we can talk about with that one problem. If you're now going stressed because you have a medical problem, that's another problem that we can work on another time for another set of EAP sessions. But it's so intriguing because then you can work, let's say for an example, you can work with a person like me for stress management, that you're having in the workplace, and we can explore, everything that's going on in there and how you can better, cope and manage yourself, right? And then you call back the EAP afterwards, with another problem, and you say, I need somebody else that I can work with. That way you can test drive all the cars, all the experts, and, with our different expertise in there. So that's the good thing about it. Another good thing is if you say, let's say your company has 3 sessions or 8 sessions, and you call in and you come to me and we have that one session and you say, I don't know, I'm not vibing with her, or this is probably not going to work for me. You don't even have to call me and say, you don't want to, come in anymore. You just go ahead and email, text message, and say, I would like to cancel my session, and that's fine. But find somebody else that you can go into and just find that person that resonates with you, that can help you out, because then that's part of your taking care of yourself, which I call, again, a mini vacation. So wanted to make sure that this is something that is critical in our, quest to live the very best versions, of our lives, and also becoming the best versions of who we are, truly are. Part of that is taking care of ourselves. So take yourself a vacation, give yourself a vacation. Where are you going to go this year? What are you going to do this year? We are getting into summertime around here. I'm always in summer. I live in Orlando, Florida, so it's always summertime over here. But wherever you are, if it's starting to get warm, have you planned your vacation? What are you going to do with the kids? Are you taking them somewhere where you can just explore different places, different things? It opens up your mind. It opens up, your energy, and it's just so exciting. This one life that we have, you have to live this one life and put your best foot forward and have the best intentions for each moment. It reminds me of my TED Talk that I did this year, and it will be coming out very soon. I'll share the link. It's titled Your Whole YOHO. You only have one life. Live it or lose it. All right. That's all I had for you this week. I'll see you again next week. If there are any topics that you would like, because I talk about life. I'm here to inspire you, encourage you, empower you. So the topics are varied that I bring to you. But if there's a specific topic that you'd like to hear, please let me know. And also, I want to invite you to be my guest so that you can come in and let's talk about life, career, business, whatever it is that is instilled upon your heart for us to talk about. I'm very open. I'm game, as the kids say. I'm game. So until next week, have a wonderful, productive, but most of all, restful week. This is Dr. Stem. Be encouraged.